Yeah, man. We're going to talk about Judge Bell. We're going to talk about Governor O'Malley's mom machine. We're going to talk about the judges that Governor O'Malley had in place to incarcerate black Baltimore. We're going to talk about Jim Crow justice and the new face of old Jim Crow. We're going to talk about it. Talking about race. Yes, we are. We're going to talk about Dred Scott. We're going to talk about being black in Baltimore's courts. We're going to talk about disbarring Scott Schellenberger for abuses of power of his office. And I'm going to be at this event tonight. For real. I've been doing a documentary and a movie about the courts. Racism in the courts behind the 13th Amendment. The illegal war on drugs. You can contact the Department of Justice. You can also contact the Baltimore FBI, the Chicago FBI. All right. And you can contact Scott Schellenberger, because Scott Schellenberger had this long before I got locked up. Scott Schellenberger been shielding the corruption and the racism. And tomorrow I get to see Johnny O tomorrow morning. But this is for you tonight. That's me. I was kidnapped. I was kidnapped by the state. You feel me? And Judge Bell left me in jail. Judge Bell knew all about this. Judge Bell had paperwork. So did Frank Conway. So here we go. Judge Boris, care of Governor O'Malley, Governor Quinn, Judge Bell. You see that? Judge Bell and Mr. Snowden, the Attorney General, Civil Rights Division of Maryland. Y'all had this before I got locked up in 2011. You had full knowledge of this documentary and movie about your courts. Patrick Fitzgerald, U.S. Attorney. Lisa Madigan, Attorney General, Chicago, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., FBI. All right, NAACP division. All right, Senator Cardins. All right, World Court of Human Rights. You feel me? Constitutional rights violations. Congressman Cummings and Congressman Jackson. Congressman Jackson went to jail. If Congressman Jackson can go to jail, so can Schellenberger. So can 52 of Maryland's politicians that shielded this corruption and illegally incarcerated me. Kidnapped me. All right. Dear Judge Boris, I respectfully request that you respect my constitutional right of self-representation, as requested in my first letter in April of 2007, of which you signed for by certified mail as required by constitutional law. I informed you and all persons involved of the legal action being sought against your court and your various elected officials in Lake County, Illinois. I am an independent filmmaker, business owner, of which you have full knowledge of, as well as Lake County officials. Patrick Fitzgerald, Lisa Madigan, Governor Blagojevich. Blagojevich went to jail, so can O'Malley. Governor Quinn, Governor O'Malley, Senator Link, Congressman Kirk, Sheriff Coran, Mayor Hyde, Detective Lionel Farmer, Art Peterson, Waukegan News son, Tom DeLay, knowingly lied to the grand jury. Mr. Wall in the Lake County State's Attorney's Office held me illegally for 163 days in Lake County Jail, 12/24/07 until 6/2/07. And last but not least, lawyers of the Lake County Public Defender's Office, mainly Mr. Grant, Mr. Levy, and John Bailey. They flatly denied to defend me and give me the due diligence of the law. It's written by the United States Constitution, the law of the land. All right? I based on Dred Scott. I'm a free man in one state and I'm a slave in another. You feel me? So this pretty much told you what I was doing. You had personal knowledge and evidence being destroyed. You feel me? I want nobody left out the loop on this. I want everybody on the same page when it comes to this. We're talking about racism in the courts and racism in Baltimore City, Baltimore County courts. We're talking about mass incarceration in the prison industry under the 13th Amendment. I made a movie and I named your names of your judges, your lawyers, and your politicians and participate in this. And can't nobody call me a liar. Judge Bell participated in this. You feel me? And other individuals participated in this. You got black faces carrying out a white agenda of white supremacy. You got black faces incarcerating black Baltimore and Waukegan. You got black faces selling out the black community. And I'm here just to tell the truth and share my truth. You have personal knowledge and evidence being destroyed. Video of the FBI property report, Zion Police Department, and also material property from Mr. Waller refused to return, dated 12/23/07, showing everything I did the day I was accused of being a terrorist. Waller, Judge Bridges, and my lawyer, Miss Levy, seemed to forget to show the grand jury the video in 9 letters design, along with the movie release form 6/10/2007 to 9/2007. Everyone saw me videotaping the Zion Police Department as well as the Chicago FBI. The videotape everyone and everything, including my conversation with my lawyer, Mr. Bailey. All right. Talking about Sam Cunningham. Talking about Sam Cunningham. We're talking about Mary Cunningham. We're talking about the Lake County Board. We're talking about the corruption and the black faces carrying out a white agenda. That's my jailhouse diary. That's my jailhouse diary. And it's 400 and something odd pages. And it's about the prison industry and mass incarceration. You feel me? It's about the prison industry and mass incarceration. It's about Judge Bell and the role that he played in my incarceration. It's about Judge Bell. See, I got a witness with me. You feel me? I got a witness with me. Her name is Sharon Galloway. She was there when I went to get Judge Bell's material. And I said what I had to say inside of his courthouse in Annapolis. That's the state of Illinois versus Dwayne Davis, the circuit. All right, 86 CF. That's the case. Motion to dismiss because you kidnapped me and held me illegally. That's when I turned in guns and drugs to the police at the police station. You feel me? That's when I had turned in guns and drugs to the police at the police station. This is a motion to dismiss because, like I said, I am my own lawyer. I know how to defend myself. That's Governor O'Malley. That's when I started the program about you and your courts. You feel me? It's about you and your courts. And I use Martin Luther King to do it. You feel me? Now we with Governor Hogan. And since Johnny Oleski ain't in that picture, it was Kamenetz. So Hogan, you took over O'Malley's spot. You refused to bring charges against Schellenberger and Brother Insurance. Y'all been knowing about this since y'all locked me up in 2011. Schellenberger stole the evidence exposing the corruption in the court and stole the videos and movie releases and storyboards. I had 13 storyboards. That 2011 was about Schellenberger. Judge Turnbull. And you go to Tiffany Harvey. All right? The Attorney General got this. Brian Frost been shielding the corruption for 8 years when he was Senator Frost. I met Brian Frost at a meeting in 2014. You feel me? When he was running for Attorney General. You have evidence and knowledge as well. You feel me? Victim of police misconduct. I need to file a complaint. I filed a complaint and you destroyed it. I filed a complaint and you didn't do nothing about it. I talked to you and you didn't do nothing about it. I came to y'all. I have testimony in your counsel. You feel me? Kevin Kamenetz. This is my written follow-up to the conversation with Delegate Sidnor. Special, all right, Tony Bazemore. That's Sidnor. That's Marks. And these are our elected officials. That's Broshini. And that's Kamenetz. And that's Chief State's Attorney Mosby. Because like I said, this movie and documentary was about the courts. And Mosby been shielding it. Mosby been shielding it to protect Schellenberger. She's been protecting Schellenberger. Y'all might seem that they don't get along, but they share mass incarceration. That's Schellenberger. That's Mosby. And that's Sam Cunningham. He done got fat off of us. You feel me? That's Sam Cunningham. That's Maryland's prison industry and Illinois' prison industry. So Judge Bell, I don't want no misunderstandings. Shorty, the champion for justice. I am Dred Scott. Blacks have no rights in which white America respects. Now you can go straight to Senator Antonio Hayes and get this book. Because like I said, when I started this, it was an underground railroad. You feel me? With Shorty's Bootleg Barbecue and Shorty's Barbecue, Shorty's store. Where's the beef? I'm giving you the beef. I'm the owner of Shorty's. I'm going to give you the beef. That's me. That's me. And the state of Maryland stole $2.6 million from me. The state of Maryland participated in fraud. The state of Maryland incarcerated me because I was making a documentary about your courts. I was insured. And I got an insurance claim. I was insured. I have an insurance claim. And Judge Bell knew about it. Feel me? Terrorism. I was insured against terrorism, and you terrorized me. That's Brother Insurance. That's Bank of America. That's my store. That's my bank account. These are the forged checks. While I was incarcerated, somebody was writing checks out of my account. And that somebody was Jake Davis and James Hammond. They made over $260,000. You feel me? That's not my signature. I'm locked up. That's not my signature. I'm incarcerated in another state. And James Hammond wrote a lease to Jake Davis. So if Jake Davis and James Hammond had a lease, then why are you still taking money out of my bank account 6 months in a row? That's fraud. That's fraud. That's fiduciary fraud. That's theft. That's embezzlement. That's income tax evasion. Because nobody never paid no taxes. You feel me? That's Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court. You feel me? I was making a movie about the courts. That's Supreme Court, 2007. Dear Mr. Davis. Davis versus Illinois. All right? In reply to your letter submission referred to the office of the Chief Justice in April of 2007. That's how long I've been making this movie. Under Article 3 of the Constitution. You feel me? Under Article 3 of the Constitution. That's David Irwin. April 2007. My store on Falls Road. You have asked me as my opinion whether you should consider be considered convicted in the 1986 case in your CF 86 CF 293. As we have discussed, I am a Maryland attorney, not licensed to practice law. My advice to you and opinion to you, Maryland and federal perspective only. As general matter, it is my opinion that any case which was reversed on appeal cannot be considered a conviction. Therefore, unless the state or government retries you, the defendant obtains a subsequent conviction. If you were never retried, you are in fact not convicted of the original charges. That means that I'm innocent of those charges. The 86 case, I'm innocent of those charges. But y'all keep referring to those cases. So I was making a movie about that. That's me. The movie was about the courts and the judges. It was about rights and the rights of being black. That's Mayor Pugh. She got this because Mayor Pugh signed off on this when she was Senator Pugh. You feel me? She got this. This is from last year. It's almost a year ago. That's the Department of Justice. That's last year. That's Governor O'Malley, because the movie was about Governor O'Malley and the judges he put in place, the judges he had relationships with in housing, civil court, criminal court, juvenile court. You feel me? That's Governor O'Malley, and it's your machine. That's State's Attorney Mosby, because Mosby was part of the machine. In 2014, I gave Mosby evidence exposing Schellenberger, Greg Bernstein, and the Democratic Party. You feel me? I gave her evidence. She got that. She's shielding the corruption. Grand Jury Commissioner. Judge Bennett. Like I said, a year ago today, I gave Judge Bennett this in federal court. Because the gun task force came in my house and put guns to my head. That's Chief Justice Roberts. Like I said, this is all about the courts, baby. Y'all call me what you want to call me, but when you call me and I say something about you, I'm going to pull your card. That's Greg Bernstein, because I handed Greg Bernstein this in 2009 at the Martin Luther King Day parade. I pulled him out of line and gave it to him. And he gave it back to me after I got out of court. That's State's Attorney Nearheim. Because like I said, I'm showing the courts and the corruption in the courts. That's Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake. City, county, state, and federal levels. I was kidnapped by the state. And Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake let that happen. Schellenberger is the subject of the investigation. You feel me? And we're going to put Schellenberger on trial. Schellenberger needs to be disbarred. Anytime Schellenberger comes to Annapolis, I'm coming to Annapolis to testify against Schellenberger. Anything that he speaks on, I'm going to speak against. That's the chief of police. You seen me chase the chief of police out of City Hall. I'm a disrespectful little motherfucker because you disrespected me. You kidnapped me. You kidnapped me and kept me from attending my mother's funeral. So I got bad blood with y'all. And I ain't scared of y'all. I ain't scared of going to jail. We go to jail, I get a trial. We get a trial, you go to jail. We're going to trade places. We're going to trade places. We're going to see if the law applies to you too. Because like I said, this is a criminal enterprise. Governor O'Malley's mom machine. So anybody and everybody that was part of his machine that had knowledge of my illegal incarceration is subject to going to jail. I'm not no dumb person. I'm ignorantly intelligent. And I line my ducks up. Because I don't want nobody left out the loop. Nobody left out the loop. Sign it. It's a movie release. The movie's about you and your courts. You feel me? Grand jury or the Supreme Court. Because that's what we headed for. I got a meeting with Johnny Oleski tomorrow. And I'm going to turn over all this evidence to Johnny Oleski. Because I'm going to get Scott Schellenberger disbarred. We're going to call it trading places. If I can go to jail for a toilet, he can go to jail for lying to the grand jury. Because I'm going to put my evidence against his evidence. You feel me? I am Dred Scott. Due process, equal protection under the law. You feel me? Do blacks have rights in white America? That's what the movie about. Being black in white America. Please share with the entire council. Scott. All right? State Attorney Schellenberger. Kevin Kamenetz, to ensure transparency in this conversation and subject matter. Review all videos to bring clarity to the situation. Movie was made long before 2/7/2011. You feel me? Facts of the issue. I was making a movie about white supremacy in the courts 2/2/2011. I submitted my whistleblower's application exposing Schellenberger, Governor O'Malley, and those mentioned in this movie about racism in the courts. I was kidnapped by the Baltimore County Police by the order of Scott Schellenberger and charged with terrorism. Those charges were false, and he intentionally lied to the grand jury. Dog, I want my grand jury, I want my dad in the grand jury. I'm an honorably discharged veteran. I'm my father's child. And you're going to give me some justice. I, Dwayne G. Davis. You see that? That's the Maryland Controller, Sitnor, Glenn, Department of Justice. You feel me? Constituent Services. President Obama. President Obama. Whistleblower's application. That's my case. That's when you came in my house and put guns to my head. That's the Criminal Investigation and Internal Affairs Division. That's my Internal Affairs case. All right? That's my Internal Affairs case. And y'all been sitting here just letting them do what they do to me. You feel me? Black faces carrying out a white agenda, white supremacy. Hogan, you got to see me too. We're going to talk about this toilet. Because this toilet was evidence and was also at my trial. Shorty's Voice. You go to Shorty's Voice on YouTube and still look at the first 5 videos. The first 5 videos going to expose you and everything. I had a ceasefire program long before y'all had the one that you just brought out. You feel me? I had a ceasefire program. Brought it to you from Chicago. Because that's where I'm from. So Councilman Quirk, you got a town hall coming up. We're going to make sure that you talk about the evidence that you've been hiding and shielding. You are a main player in this. And so is the media. Y'all made me famous for toilets. I'm going to run with that shit. I'm going to make you famous. Because the toilet was about you. It was about your machine. You feel me? So let's talk about it. Because my paperwork is legit. Booked parties with Shorty's Underground. Made checks to Jake Davis. Participated in the fraud. I was insured. And I made my voice perfectly clear during the 2018 elections. I want everything done the right way. You feel me? Al Redmer has an insurance claim. That insurance claim is going to expose everything. Because like I said, I was insured. And we're going to rock the vote. Because we're going to expose the corruption. And we're going to talk about the racism. You feel me? We're going to talk about the racist. You feel me? Get all the information from Bobby Zirkin. Because like I said, when I come to Annapolis, I'm not playing with y'all. I want justice. I want access to the grand jury, and I want disbarment of Scott Schellenberger. And I want you to do your job. I want you to do your job. You elected to represent me, to protect me. Do your job or lose your job. Because if you're part of O'Malley's machine, you can go to jail too. How many voters are in Maryland? All right? We're about to find out. Like I said, my information is in Richard McFeely's office. It's in Brian Frost's office. It's in Governor Hogan's office. It's in Head State's Attorney Mosby's office. You feel me? They signed for this. I was making a movie, dog. I'm a private chef in the cater. This is what I do. You feel me? This is what I do. You feel me? Pulled pork, mango sauce, Shorty's pit beef and rib shack. Dog, y'all stole from me. Shorty's pit beef and rib shack, barbecue, Cockeysville. You feel me? This is what I do. I'm a private chef and a caterer. And we're going to talk about Aisha Khan, and we're going to talk about y'all for the 2019 session. We're going to talk about campaign financing. Because Aisha Khan owed me like $500. And she need to give me a I-99 so I can file taxes. She didn't file taxes. She gonna go to jail. And she gonna lose her position. Board of Elections is gonna be coming looking for it. And I'm gonna turn you in. Run for the border if you want to. Brian Frost got this information. Kevin Kamenetz had this information. Judge Bennett got this information. Mayor Moxley had this information. This is Baltimore. All right? Meat on fire. Shorty, pit beef and ribs. All right? That's me. That's my store. And Stephanie Rollins Blake knew about it. Like I said, I'm making a movie and a documentary about y'all. Never Say Die. That's Ozzie Newsome. He one of my customers. The movie's in the Department of Justice hands. Because like I said, I want Scott Schellenberger disbarred. Ask him about me. I'm Shorty, the one and only. Martin Luther King taught me how to do this. I'm a veteran. Like I said, this is a documentary. The New Wildlife Style Magazine. So Al Redmer, get your shit together. I want everything that belongs to me. I want the truth to be told about Shorty. Farewell to Shorty. You feel me? That's how long I've been doing this. Shorty works the last day of the stand. You feel me? So Al Redmer, I want you to show the people my insurance claim. I want you to show the people my policy. I want you to do what you got to do because I'm exposing the courts and the corruption. Movie was about the judges, the lawyers, and the politicians that write laws to incarcerate Black America. Ain't no law against making a movie. It is a law about kidnapping me. So y'all decide what y'all want to do because I'm going to be at Johnny Oleski's office tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And tonight I'm going to be in front of Judge Bell and I'm going to confront Judge Bell with this information. I ain't got a problem going to jail. I go to jail for the right reasons. I went to jail to prove a point, to prove the corruption and the racism in your courts. I spent 186 days in Illinois and 86 days in Maryland. I am Dred Scott. I'm good in the hood. I'm going to keep my hood on. We're going to talk about your prison industry, mass incarceration. June 1986. You feel me? 1986 case. I got the diary, but you stole that diary from 86 and you destroyed it. We talking about towing scandals. Pollard towing. Taking my truck. Not refunding my money. We talking about Governor O'Malley. Mr. McGee, parole and probation. I'm going to give you something to see. Since Kamenetz ain't there no more, Johnny Oleski is what we're going to be looking at. It's a Shorty documentary. It's about mass incarceration in your prison industry. It's about voter suppression by Scott Schellenberger. I got sole proprietorship, Shorty's Underground Rib Shack. I own Shorty's. I own all shares of Shorty's. And I don't like sharing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. And I'm going to sue you for this. This is an agreement between Michael Alport and Dwayne Davis. We are working together to expose the racially oppressive judicial system in Lake County, Illinois. We're going to write a book, make a movie, and split the profits 35, 35, 30 to create a nonprofit organization to better the community. And we created this organization. It's called Shorty's, self-help organization for the redevelopment and re-education of the young. It's all legit. It's all legit. A man in his grill fighting racism. You feel me? So do what you got to do, because I'm on my job and I want my property. I am Dred Scott. Do blacks have rights in white America? We're going to find out. We're going to have this conversation.